in young ones, then make sure that you make use of the child safety wristbands. These wristbands are being handed out to create customer entry points and the visitor information. You can also lighten your load. Flying might look like in the future. Today on the Inspire stage, suspicious about some activity, then please report about it if you cannot.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, you get
Even and we ask you to be just especially careful as you make your way to the front line. And whilst you're setting up there, please bear in mind that we are very pleased to announce that the entire show has been fully sewed up.
Yeah, no, you get
Thus far, our rivals are going to take landing here today, and the form suggests later in the day they will be harsh on your ears, so we recommend wearing earplugs or earphones during the course of the air display, and these can be purchased from the official merchandise outlets.
Lieutenant Madison Marsh from the US Air Force, who is also known as Miss America 2024. Madison, tell me, what inspired you to join the US Air Force?
Back whenever I was much younger, I really wanted to be an astronaut, and I had that plan for about, 9 to 10 years, and that's what led me ultimately to go to the Air Force, and one of the best places to get one of those pilot blocks that you already see.
I've got a proper camera back. Yeah. I thought I'd just use the back camera. It's got battery.
You might be able to get one out there.
I think there is a camera place out there.
National Air Tattoo 2024.
Probably, yeah, it's just so you come back. Oh.
Yeah.
We're looking forward from 10 o'clock onwards to some 7.5 hours of the very best in air display action from around the world. And those of us who are privileged to bring it to you are me, Ben Donnell, and joining me the now Air Commodore, Mark Manwaring. Manners, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A very warm welcome to me to the Royal International Aircraft 2024. And what a day we have lined up.
We do indeed. The show, as ever, packed with interest, packed with interesting themes, packed with firsts. And I think first of all for us, we're going to run you through today's flying programme, starting at namely the Polish Air Force F-16 withdrawn after incident involving one of the Polish Air Force's other solar display aircraft. Recently, the Royal Danish Air Force F-16 is unfortunately unserviceable today. We do hope to have it back in the programme tomorrow. Hence the one we just seen landing, bringing in spare parts. The Hungarian Air Force Gripen has cancelled, and also we regrettably won't be seeing the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight Lancaster, but it's still a very full programme.
Absolutely. And I think the question that's on everyone's lips at the moment is, what is the weather going to do and how is that going to impact it? Well, actually, fear not. The latest forecast is for the wind solid at 8 knots, which is good for display cruise, but not so good if you have to lose control of an umbrella or a gazebo. So please,
two-seat MK.Vb Strike Eagle, which entered US Air Force service in time for still the Gulf conflict in 1991. The Advanced Eagles boast numerous enhancements, being QA for Qatar, QA standing for Qatar Advanced. An initial contract for 36 of these aircraft was placed by the Qataris in 2017.
Absolutely thunderous. The two General Electric F-15 G129 turbofans, full afterburner, each of those can produce nearly 30,000 pounds of thrust, 60,000 pounds of thrust in total, and with an empty weight of just 31,000 pounds and a maximum weight of just over 70, this aircraft has a greater than 1-to-1 thrust ratio in nearly all of its configurations.
And it's got more weapons hardpoints. Now, one long-time feature of different F-15 versions has been the conformal fuel tanks, which allow the carriage of more fuel without the drag and various performance penalties of carrying underslung drop tanks, for example, and the conformal tanks on the Ababil can carry around 10,000 pounds of fuel.
Because the other advantage with conformal tanks is it doesn't reduce the G capability of the aircraft because it's actually physically part of the airframe.
Of course. Now here's a very good example of what I was talking about in terms of the fly-by-wire control. For that, because the oldest in-service F-15C model, the single-seat fighter with the US Air Force as of 2020, dated from 1979, at which point the average jet was 36 years old.
X joined the inventory this June. And it achieved initial operational capability with the delivery of the 8th aircraft on only the 10th of July. And of course, Boeing is targeting further overseas sales of the Advanced Eagle derivatives. Coming in now for another low go-around. Shootdowns of 5 Syrian MiG-21s. Perhaps its greatest successes in the air-to-air arena during the 1991 Gulf War with both the US Air Force and the Royal Saudi Air Force, during which 33 air-to-air kills were claimed by Eagles. To date, fighter versions of the F-15 have claimed 104 aerial victories for no losses, and the Advanced Eagle variants such as this will take this on long into the future. So touching down after a somewhat abbreviated but still very impressive demonstration of its qualities. The Boeing F-15QA Ababil, flown by Jason Dotter and Kevin Tinsley. Well, now moving on to the runway down at the right-hand end, this aircraft not part of the display, but which is heading out on departure back to base. It's the Lockheed T75th anniversary commemorations this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of the Finnish Air Force display team for the Finnish Air Force Academy and Flight Squadron 41. The Midnight Horse. Signature of Midnight Horse display team is its close formation diamond, in which the 4 aircraft fly only 2 meters canopy to wing-tip separation, demonstrating extreme precision. The close diamond is Midnight Horse trademark, and hardly any other display team flies in such a close formation. Today, the team will fly the diamond in excess of 700 kilometers per hour and experience up to 5 times the force of gravity. Get a reference for this position from the lead plane in addition to other planes in the speed and different formation. With speeds reaching over 700 kilometers per hour is the Big Tango flyby. For the great show and give them a standing ovation. Dear audience, the Finnish Air Force's own Midnight Hawks.
Well, thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. And the first of 3 sorties for the Finnish Air Force Hawks today, because they're also providing their solo display later on in place of the unserviceable Royal Danish Air Force F-16, and one of them is also taking part in the Hawk
airspace, a RAT, which has been set up for 5 days over the show and rehearsal period.
So here goes the Chinook HC.5, distinguishable from the Mark 6.
given that there is very little respite for the G. With a full show or a rolling show, there is some respite at the top of the looping manoeuvres, but with this show, he's pulling 6 to 9G almost throughout the entire display. Difference between the trajectory of the aircraft and the nose of the aircraft. There is negative lift being produced by the tail surface at the back of the aircraft, which does not contribute to the overall performance of the aircraft. Whereas with a canard and a delta wing, both are performing and producing lift for the aircraft performance. Coming down for a
Lithuania, the three Baltic states don't have frontline fighter aircraft of their own, and to defend their strategically, particularly these days, very important airspace, NATO mounts Baltic air policing. The Gripens of the Czech Air Force have been much involved in that, and they represented in today's display by this Jas-39C Gripen, flown by Captain Ondrej Španko. In fact, at one stage recently, with the Quick Reaction Alert (QRA) air defence facility being held by the Czech Gripens in their homeland and providing air defence for Slovakia after this year, comes from Hauptmann Alexander Stegmaier, call sign Noble. Configuration. They're being built at the moment. They'll replace the older Tranche 1 jets, just as we're retiring the oldest of our Typhoons, so the Germans are doing with their EF-2000. And at the Ila Berlin Air Show a few weeks ago, about 20 more as Antonov and 148 transport over the Baltic. And looking to the future, 15 of the Luftwaffe EF-2000s will be modified by the year 2030 for the electronic combat role to replace the Panavia Tornado ECR in the SEAD, the suppression of enemy air defences function. Adding another string to this aircraft's bow, demonstrated an extremely precise routine there by Hauptmann Alexander Stegmeier of Taktisches Luftwaffengeschwader 74 of the German Air Force with the EF-2000. We're not having much luck with the specially painted display jets so far this week, are we? The Danish F-16 went on service, or the Canadian CS-188 yesterday went on service. I don't think we'll see the painted one today. And that aircraft should have been the specially painted Cyborg Tiger Eurofighter, because that... EAB 8B Matador 2 Plus, their version of the Harrier. Part of the Harrier 2 family, like the AB-8B for the Americans, or the Harrier GR.5 or GR.7 for the RAF, arrived in the late 1980s, and this, the EAB-8B Plus model, from 1996. Familiar looking profile to that aircraft. It's slightly different in terms of the nose area in comparison to our GR7, GR9. And that's because of the different radar fit, isn't it? Well, in fact, yeah, our aircraft were never fitted with a radar. This aircraft fitted with an APG-65 multimode radar, which gives it the ability to carry anti-land missiles. Extensive expeditionary capability, even with a relatively small fleet at their disposal. And that was demonstrated only recently when they deployed on a Baltops cruise, Baltic operations aboard the Juan Carlos I, sailing from Istanbul to Helsinki and remaining on station for about 6 months.
of the RAF and the Royal Navy, with aircraft types still in existence and still being flown on a day-to-day basis around the world, visible over the skies of Gloucestershire.
So as the noise dies away, that was Lieutenant Commander Andres Medina Gonzalez del Tanago of the Spanish Navy with the EA-8B Matador 2+.
You can see the Chinook approaching from crowd right, carrying a battlefield gun on one of its 3 unslung load hooks. Flying the aircraft today is Flight Lieutenant Ian Cooper, known to us as Coops. It is more than 1,000 flying hours on the Chinook, which is clocked up on numerous operational deployments, including Op Shadia and Op Nukem in Mali. Joining Coops in the cockpit today is Flight Lieutenant James Patrouille. He's our new senior extreme officer, who has been flying alongside for the last 2 years. JP considers flying today with Royal Demo and sharing on what's been an exciting exchange. We'll mark it with smoke. Not only does the smoke help identify the drop-off area, but it will give Coops an appreciation of the wind's direction and strength. Once safely on the deck, the JHSS team will leave the aircraft in order to attach the gun to the Land Rover, provide mutual support ahead of the gun moving to its onward battlefield location. So as you can see, the team are now positioning to drop the insulin load in front of you. Dropping off the insulin load quite willingness and communication between all members of the crew. Pilots are able to see what's going on under the Land Rover. So this is achieved by crewmen in the rear having a conventional picture that pilots over the intercom, using voice marshalling to direct the aircraft to a precise drop-off point, ensuring the aircraft lands safely clear of the load. So at the moment the crewmen will be fine-tuning the positioning of the Chinook. Having successfully dropped the gun, Coops will now manoeuvre the aircraft forward and down away from the load to allow the troops to disembark the aircraft, to set up in their defensive posture. Next, the aircraft will conduct an over-the-shoulder departure. This is a dynamic maneuver used to quickly move away from enemy threats in front of the aircraft. As the aircraft climbs and builds rearwards momentum, the lower ballistic protection is presented to the threat. The nose is then snapped around quickly to give the crewmen effective weapon arcs should they be required to defend the aircraft, its crew and their passengers. Built up some forward speed as well will now provide over the troops on the ground. Most importantly, it's an opportunity to hear the iconic blade slap as it comes past. As we pass, we've recorded the aircraft away from the ground, all of this, the aircraft landing towards the direction. Chinook operates above. On the ground we can see JHSS, who are a specialist helicopter handling defence unit. A joint squadron made up of both Army and RAF personnel, based out of RAF Benton in Oxfordshire. They primarily work with our UK support helicopters, including Chinook, Puma and Merlin, providing specialist helicopter land site reconnaissance and the movement of essential supplies by internal and external loads, exactly as you can see them doing during today's demonstration. The Chinook is inextricably linked to the modern battlefield, through conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq, and has taken this how the Chinook's place left, offering reassurance to those on the ground. letting them know help was always to hand. The unmatched combination of power, agility, and endurance put Chinook at the forefront of its helicopter operations for over 40 years, always making its time and its target whenever it's asked. As the Chinook into its second pass of the Volvo, you see the team from number super and then looking at the starboard window. Please get the field at pace. The quad light comes off back to the helicopter now. He'll go to join the team of JHSS over towards the gun. With the cargo safely dispatched, the aircraft will now perform another over-the-shoulder departure by using all of that available power offered by the two impressive 5,000 horsepower manual engines. The aircraft quickly depart the area, minimising the risk presented by a variety of threats in modern battlefield. The aircraft repositions, this dynamic manoeuvre enables us to rapidly adjust from maximum flying speed to bring the sports chute to the troops on the ground in minimum time. Goose will be flying at 140 miles per hour. It will rapidly decelerate the aircraft and turn using a bit of pedal. This turns the side of the aircraft into an air brake, essentially, a wind brake. The Chinook is now expeditiously brought to the stop. Speed under control, the crew will now position it forward down to the ground. With their task complete, the passengers will now be cleared back onto the aircraft with a brand new addition to the Chinook Roll demo, the big orange thumb. Wearing the thumb today and operating at the #1 crew position is Woody. Born and raised under bright lights of Blackpool, he joined up in 2012 as an RAF regiment gunner before seeing the light, later retrading as a weapons system operator. Woody and Fab will now work together seamlessly to secure all of those passengers and the cabin before giving the all clear to climb to Coops and JP in the front. The aircraft you see in front of me today is one of our Mark 5s. This gives us the ability to fly significantly further than the 6 Alpha you may have seen before. As the aircraft gently corkscrew climbs into the hover, the crew will open the ramp and give our crewmen the best seat in the house. As they don the iconic orange hands to wave us all a final farewell. Cosford, can I ask you please to put your hands together in the air and wave a huge farewell to our team. We love seeing your photos and videos. If you've taken any good ones today, we'd be very grateful if you could tag us using the hashtag BladeSnap. As a reminder, you can come and find us over at the RAF Village all day today. On behalf of myself and the team, thank you very much for watching our roll demonstration. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. So for one last time, please put your hands together for the 2024 Chinook roll demonstration.
And here it goes, the Luftwaffe A400M starting to roll.
So the flying pilot, the captain, will have his hand on the steering tiller, and at a certain speed he'll move his hand to the side stick. It's a side stick control on the A400M. The non-flying pilot will pull rotate any moment now, and there we go, just about 3,000 feet. It's gear up, and the The flying pilot will be looking at the automation modes in the head-up display. Everything is presented to the pilot through the head-up display so that they can use the screens below for situational awareness in whatever mission they're conducting. And actually the situational awareness for the pilots is fantastic on here.
And that's so important.
The nose drum unit on the ramp of the aircraft is there to refuel larger aircraft like another A400M.
And so in for the first of its flypasts.
Probably not right now, but the A400M is capable of Mach.72, and in the A400M, because of the altitudes that it's able to fly at, up to 40,000 feet, and typically in the high 30s, the speed's measured in Mach, just like an air bank or a sustained turn, or something that you might require on operations is very straightforward for the crew at the front, for the pilots, allowing them, as I said before, situational awareness to concentrate on whatever the mission is.
Well, also, is it correct that it has no limits in pitch? So that's also very important in the tactical environment, isn't it? To have a very good pitch rate on a tactical aircraft.
Yes, especially at low weights like it will be today. Yes, we can really pitch the aircraft to a high angle to let's say, a low level environment for terrain or something like that.
There was small on slide.
Yes, so you can see 12 main wheels on the undercarriage. It's what we call a high flotation undercarriage, spreading that 140 miles
land. And here we see the short landing capabilities coming to the fore.
Yes, so with those 12 main wheels, you've also got 12 carbon ceramic brake packs. And the landing performance, as somebody who's flown, it was one of the most impressive parts. Another really physical experience. As the brakes come on, and in fact there's even an automatic mode for the maximum braking to really shorten the landing as much as possible. And of course with those 4 engines in reverse thrust. Very heavy, and that's what they're going to do all background for years to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, Royal International Air Tattoo, please put your hands together for the 2024 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team. It's the I said arriving in our trademark diamond 9 formation, Red 1 bringing the team immediately to the left, which indicates to me he's starting the show flat. However, that gives you a great plan form picture of our trademark Diamond 9. Leading the team this year, we have a new team leader for 2024. That's squad leader John Bond, known as Bondy. He was in the team for 5 years previously. He took a year out in 2023 before coming back to join the team as Red 1, the team leader. In 9 arrows from the left, it's the Red Arrows. Bondy is the former Typhoon pilot. He's a former qualified flying instructor on the Let's 8 another performer roll up to change the shape into Fred.
And in celebration, commemoration to all those that took part in the operation, and of course those that paid the ultimate price. Coming in from the right, the smoke comes on for the reversal in Spitfire. On the left-hand side, you'll now see Reds 89 in trail for one of the most popular, if not the most popular maneuver we fly. This is the Tornado! The abort call is made by Red 9 as Reds 89 roll around the rest of the formation. Watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings the team down the line. There's a small door at the base of the aeroplane. As we go into the second half, we now see manoeuvre not flown since 2003. Off to the right hand side, you have Reds 1 through 5, they're now known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5. Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9 to the left are now known as Hannah, named after squad leader Ray Hannah, one of the first members of the Red Arrows, the only team leader to lead the team for 4 years. He took the team from a 7 ship to a 9 ship and was also responsible for our world famous Diamond 9. Enid from the right, Hannah from the left, 4, 5, 4, cross. On Enid to the left-hand side. The Red Arrows was formed in 1960 up front with Reds 89 rolling red and blue. Get your cameras ready, it's the Hannah break. Each pair will now dive down to only 100 feet above the airfield. They've got a cruise speed of over 800 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready for a Hannah pass! And smoking red. As they draw a wonderful 60 in the sky to celebrate 60 display seasons for the Red Arrows. Red 6 and 7 keep an eye on the synchro pair that row double roll.
we have a Middle Eastern section of the show, the Saudi Hawks, after which we've got the solo Finnish Air Force Hawk, which is an addition to today's programme. Then it's the solo Turkish Air Force F-16 SoloTürk, the Royal Canadian Air Force CF-188,
being the second highest visibility against black, unbelievably.
Yeah. We are, some of us would like to see the aircraft being blue and yellow, because that was the original painting and the color scheme for the Norwegian flying school during World War II. What you can see is the triangle or death deformation. And then the next class started just after Christmas in early January. Here we can see them on the front left, coming in on a chevron formation. Pilot number 2, there is Captain Tinkas. He is one of the first female pilots in the Norwegian Air Force, and actually one of the most experienced you see.
Yeah.
Only come in from the right in a trial formation. And you mentioned Bardufoss, we are from Bardufoss, and the Royal Navy Command of Helicopter Force, and then further on the Joint Helicopter Command. They had a base inside the perimeters of Bardufoss for about 50 years, since the late 60s, so they've been there in the 60s, 50 years. They have had Hercules, Chinooks, basically all the support helicopters that we have in the unit. Navy for multi-engine and the US Army for helicopter pilots. As we can see, they come in a double trail, 3+3, and then will reformate on an echelon formation before the split. Then they will set up for a flyby to Hornet for the rest of the weekend.
An absolutely delightful display. Please do show your appreciation to the Royal Norwegian Air Force Yellow Sparrows. And you'll find quite a big contingent from your Air Force here. We've got F-35s, we've got C-130, we've got the AWY-1, the SAR Queen for the first time.
That's true. We have a very big detachment.
Yes.
Prepare for this year. Afterwards, we'll be there along with F-16 test pilot Chris Sasquatch. Now back to the flight.
Running in now for their first pass from the left. We'd like to present the 2024 Royal Navy Helicopter Display Team, the Black Hats. back in for the Canadian break. Which was in Black 2, rolling across the top of Black 1 as they fly away. Black 2 for Lieutenant Scott Sunderland. He's been in the Navy since 2010. Streamed onto the Wildcat directly from flying training, quick reaction alert, really. Holding a short notice roster in case of maritime terrorism incidents. In towards us and pulling up once again. litigious nose over. Very different mission with the British Army. Reduced cross-section of the aircraft from enemy radar. And we'll see them climbing and turning in towards each other before they head back in on what we often refer to as the B axis. If you're unaware of that, that's the secondary display axis, as it were, at 90 degrees to the main runway, which forms the line for the A axis. And they're getting ready now for their final manoeuvre, the two Wildcat HMA-2s of 825 Naval Air Squadron at RNAS Yeovilton, forming the Royal Navy helicopter display team for 2024, the Black Cats. considerable indeed. His mount is now on the roll, the Pilatus PC-9M.
An unassuming aircraft, but I have really been looking forward to this display. There is a vast amount of negative G, one of the nicest slow rolls you will ever see, and a very impressive envelope being used for +7 to -3.5. This is a fantastic display.
Single turboprop trainer of light attack aircraft, the PC-9 with a couple of the camouflage. So, Andre, a former twice award winner in the flying awards here at the Air Tattoo, bringing the PC-9M in past us.
Very nice 4-point roll. I think the cloud base just slightly less than anticipated or required for his full show, so expect to see a few more rolling manoeuvres than we did yesterday.
Very, very capable aircraft. It's built by the Swiss firm Pilatus, originally conceived on the basis of their very popular PC-7 turbo trainer, which Pilatus still has in production. We've got the latest version, the MKX, here in the static display.
Just clipping the cloud base there, but what would have been a vertical S, but turning that into more of an avalanche and completing the looping manoeuvre. So looking like the cloud base around about 1,500 to 1,800 feet at the moment.
He's extended the landing gear now. And he's going to be performing a roll with the gear down.
Is it temporarily? Yeah, back the gear up, yes.
Expecting a 3/4 roll, a turn away. What would ordinarily be positioning for the avalanche, but we'll see what he makes of this. Going over, taking it into cloud, in fact, down at the left-hand end of the airfield. Passing us down the line, the nice inverter to inverter.
Onto the B-axis, you'll be using a minimum height of 500 feet for aerobatic manoeuvres, 300 feet for other dynamic manoeuvres, and 100 feet for flight path.
And each time mark, particularly on the
for the fast jet stream. Beyond that, the F-35 Typhoon aircraft.
There was something of irony in that, wasn't there? Because the PC-9 itself was rejected for the requirement for a new trainer to replace the Jet Provost that saw the Shorts Tucano being brought into service, and then when the Tucano was to be replaced, it was replaced by a much more advanced variant, of the PCW.
It also shows that when something is designed right, the longevity is
systems at the drop zone, which also is with the central visitor information point at flag 26. There you can get help.
probably Jordanian Falcons. Starting the display in box formation, and able under the cloud to perform a quarter clover lead. And they'll be bringing the formation back down the line for allowance. Falcons in 2002 and has some 3,700 flying hours in his logbooks. And what we are now going to be able to get in spite of the darkening skies, is a loop. Back into the box formation for a half Hudournik maneuver, so looking at the little loop, but on the 45-degree down line, instead of pulling out, they pull through inverted. Royal Jordanian Air Force. Again, twisting round for a quarter clover lead. A very attractive repositioning manoeuvre. And now splitting into two pairs. And there, you might just be able to make out with the white smoke against the grey skies. And two pairs running in from right to left for a crossover. 2017, he's got more than 5,700 flying hours.
You already tell us why I can see with the name, who's the weather.
And the three-ship formation rejoins from the left, with the solo passing under and crossing the three aircraft are now in line abreast formation for a line abreast loop. And from this they'll be transitioning into a barrel roll. And why do we call it the barrel roll, Mark?
You imagine a barrel laid out in front of the aircraft, the aircraft flying around the inside of the barrel. So it's a pitching and rolling that we're working currently.
Extended upward slide from the soloist, and then torque rolling back down. And again, crossing with his three colleagues. And out of that, for the globally, the downward split. And each aircraft still turning before heading away from us as the soloist show now half rolling erect once more. This team comes from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and coming up from them, the Hashemite break. Slow roll mark, but with the added complexity of being in close formation. And they're getting ready for the Camcorder fan break. We give you the 2024 World Jordanian.
Performing the bill shape. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Saudi horse. They are changing the color now, approaching the display line from your right hand side. that was the command from the boss for the team members to change the shape from the Tiger to the Spear. First reply was from Saudi 2, Captain Suleiman. He flew the British aircraft, the Tornado, with experience over 2,000 hours on the Tornado. He's from the Central Saudi Arabia, and you can see now the team coming from the left-hand side. Now the synchro pair are rejoining from right and left. They will cross right in front. Snake shape. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Saudi Hawks.
Took quite a long while, but finally a deal was struck with Finland and the aircraft transferred. It serviced in 2011 to 13. And most of them, and not all of them, as we saw from the Middle Hawks team earlier, distinguishable from the other Finnish force, on the airfield in his memory later on today. And so we dedicate a solo hawk display to Hercules' memory, a friend who will be very, very much missed around the whole of the European airshow circuit. Touching down then, Captain Emily Hudournik from the Finnish Air Force with the Hawk Mark 66.
Flight safety officer duty. Are you ready to rumble?
In Swiss, like a Falcon, the symbol of freedom in the sky, SoloTürk, it is now coming with this big slice. SoloTürk big slice. All of you see the show are brought by professional SoloTürk pilots. Please do not try at all. SoloTürk Rarities.
You did say that.
Jet sound is sound of fear!
Lockheed Martin F-16 with the Turkish Air Force F-16C of the SoloTürk demo team. And stringing the drag chute as well. Very special colour scheme on that as well. Very nice.
Let's watch as Captain Robert lights the afterburners and demonstrates the awesome power of the CF-18 with the takeoff, dirty roll. Remember to share your photos and videos using the hashtag CF18Demo. Watch from the right as Tango presents Hesitation Rolls. Au cours de la prochaine manœuvre, le CF-18 volera à seulement la moitié de sa vitesse maximale, at more than 1,200 kilometers per hour, flying right on the edge of the sound barrier. The high-speed pass!
The F-35C Gripen. This aircraft has proved very successful on the export market as well as in its home country. There are 3 wings Belgian F-16s and German Eurofighters also between them, they intercepted first Russian Tupolev Tu-134 and then artillery of that air arm, which officially took on that designation on the 1st of April 1924. It was the start of a glorious 100-year history in war and in peace, during which the RAF and the RCAF have been Squadron, which was formed on Hurricanes at Digby in Lincolnshire. It converted to Spitfires following a year at Kenley and flew them from various bases for the rest of World War II in Europe. And those Spitfires included the very one that we see flying here with the CF-188 in the markings of number 402 Royal Canadian Air Force Squadron. Flying the CT-142-8 trainer, generating new combat air systems officers and airborne electronic sensor operators for the modern-day RCAF. Many years were the leading lights on the warbird scene in both piston and jet-engined aircraft.
All right, here it comes. Right, just coming now a minute.
Well, possibly not. Possibly the cloud base might be restricting that.
Yeah, I think it's still around about 2,000 feet, and probably requiring about 3,500 feet to complete that vertical timber.
It was back in 2018 that number 617 Squadron, the famous Ganbusters, became the first frontline British F-35B unit with its first 4 aircraft arrived at Mara.
Weapon systems generally carry the internal aircraft to preserve its self-actuation. many, many more deployments on the calendar for this very busy squadron. It'll all be F-35 squadrons joined by the Royal Navy. Then there's quite speed for the first mission to be done by very comprehensive weapon system suite on this F-35B. And it's coming in for what we believe will be a final pass.
46 Masters takeoff. After a British two-seat monoplane trainer, widely used by the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. The Miles M9 Master, designed by the epic engineer Frederick George Miles and his wife, pilot, engineer, designer, and socialite Maxine Blossom Miles, who later founded the Miles Aeronautical Technical School. And it's pretty much it. And the floor is to the knowledgeable voice of Ben Dunner.
Mike, thank you so much, and thank you very much also for mentioning the Miles Master once again, which we all love hearing about.
Great pleasure.
Stay with us, because weather permitting, we hope that you've got two more displays to talk about from your flight test centre. So now we look back 50 years to Duns Hold in Surrey on the 21st of August 1974, where an aircraft called the Hornet HS-1182.
All formation coming in from the right-hand side to celebrate the 50th anniversary of this fine aircraft.
And it's my great pleasure to...
I'm now flying with the Systems Flying Mark 65.
So, again, an interesting comparison to be had there between the old and new Hawks, because they share a name, but a little bit of difference.
In from the left, they're coming back in a slight bank turn. I think Bondi was going to bring it into a slight right-hand turn for a top side pass.
Are on, the revs are up. It's time to bring the noise. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the 2024 Typhoon display. He pulls away from the crowd again, putting a constant 9G, assisted by his 440G soak from pressure breathing. He's able to counter the effects of the G-straining maneuver. This doesn't fail with the fact that his body now weighs 9 times more than normal, making turbo as heavy as a Formula 1. Nice and brutal one, ladies and gents. So now expecting him to do a 278 on well. He'll shot the top side of the jet before pushing right to the turbo rolls inverted. Give him away as he begins to finish his display.
Where people can come in, meet some of our performers, take their chance at grab hockey, and just enjoy a little bit of mania. So it's a big time because there is a celebration going on over here. It's the 100th anniversary of the Canadian Air Force, is that correct? Yes, that is true. The 1st of April 2024 marked 100 years of the RTF. Wow. And these celebrations were happening all weekend or all year long?
The choreography of time. These jets frame the world stage, a celebration of skill. 60 years of excellence, 60 years of Red Arrows.
So Ben, going back to what we were saying earlier about the early 70s and it being a real innovative period in aviation history, let's just go back through the list of aircraft that were first flown in 1974. 1974 saw the first flight of the General Dynamics then, F-16 Fighting Falcon, that we were going to see slightly later on today. The Panavia Tornado in August of 1974, the Hawk, as we've said earlier, the Big One Lancer, as we've said earlier, and if we go back 2 years before that, in 1972, the then Fairchild A-10 flew in May of 1972, very quickly followed by the McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagles in July of that year. Here at RIA also, many aircraft that are actually significantly older than that. The Lockheed U-2 we've seen fly over the first day of the show, first flew in 1955. The McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom flew in 1958. The Rivet Joint flew in 1965, but that predates, because that was originally the Boeing 367-80, which flew in 1954. And the Boeing E-3 Sentry first flew in 1972, but as the Boeing 707, that originally flew in 1957. So those that we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of here at the moment, let's put it in perspective as to what else was going on when the F-16 first flew. Believe it or not, the Ford Mark III Cortina was still in production, as was the Morris Marina, and it was only 3 years before the first flight of the F-16 that the Morris Minor went out of production. It just shows what a futuristic aircraft it was at that time, and that's why it's lasted half a century.
Aircraft from Alizé-Naville in France, and the Hornet Turbo Firecat, the firefighting version of the Gripen tracker. It's on show here in the Alzey in France, in which we have the first
We're not the people to look at the armed research BAE-146 doing maneuvers without compromising safety or performance. It's enough talk, let's get ready to watch the rapid takeoff with just a 1 feet from. In its climb. Every positioning there reserves significant vacuum to us to tie a knot in the center of the runway. A stunt of guaranteed impact that never fails to seal upon the perfection with the audience. A spectacular center to know. It's on its way. A new highlight of the 2024 season with headlight blazing and flaps extended. I've been flying from town to town. And this maneuver also brings a special message from the crew. All around the globe, trying to protect your soul. And this year marks the 9th anniversary of the absolute speed record for piston engine sequence. In October 23, 1934, Francesco Agello pushed his MC-72 to an astonishing 7.9 kilometers per hour, the record is 3.28. The Agello's record is one of the 3 stars on the Flight Test Wings Hercules. Responsible for engine management, often referred to the fireman in pilot jargon, and flight technician, First Lieutenant Giuseppe Civica, who ensures the aircraft's configuration and flight parameters. Touchdown! Descent and ascent rates up to 1,200 meters per minute. The Spartan is qualified for very short landings, even on sandy, snowy, or unprepared runways. when there is no runway, the Spartan makes its own. In the show of the flag, the display crew brings the display to an end. In 2013, after the Super Typhoon Yolanda ravaged the Philippines, the Spartan improved its mettle again, landing on a tiny makeshift airstrip where all other carriers had refused to go. The Spartan delivered critical supply to isolated areas. The aircraft's unmatched readiness and versatility saved countless lives, demonstrating once again its vital role in the most challenging missions. This is also the time when our Spanish cousins get in. Germany and Italy formed two new partnerships to push forward with time-free development, GmbH and Eurojet. watching, thank you for listening. This was Raphael Nesco display, and to you all, arrivederci.
Thank you very much indeed, Mike. Thank you for another excellent exploration of history there in the shape of the Typhoon programme. Very informative indeed. And there's the Italian Air Force F-2000A model rolling out.
Soon began to evolve into something much more potent and capable than we ever really thought of as possible. And today, through multi-Eurofighter, even the older AAV models, like the one we're about to see, the A model, are such thanks to the midlife upgrade program that the European F-15As and Bs went through. It was selected as the winner of the US Air Force's Air Combat Fighter order in January 1975, and full-scale development began. The fewer daytime requirement of their active was extended to cover air to ground and all weather functions, and then came what was known as the sale of the Centenary.
Display to aid SA and advanced electronic warfare management system.
said that F-16s provided by both of those countries are en route to Ukraine and will start operating there with the Ukrainian Air Force this summer.
Still like the B2.
We're expecting a wind-waving run. Didn't think they'd be able to participate in today's show with the unserviceability of the primary specially marked jet. For those of you who were here first thing this morning before the display will remember that this one came in from Skidstrup, landed with us in order for the display to be flown by Captain Troels Denny Falcon of the Royal Danish Air Force with the F-16AM fighting Falcon, a storming display in these poor conditions.
flies the target ship weapon position and is the second solo pilot. Bigfoot's real name, Lucas Nannini, is a major and, in his military aviation function, commander of the 6th Squadron. Coming from the right to the left. pitches of 3 to 5 meters. Everything has to fit perfectly. What counts here is flying precision and many years of experience, complete concentration and trust in man and machine. From the right, to fly so precisely. Change it to the Eiger formation, the famous Swiss mounting. From the main formation. Flying right to left to present the Tiger to E. From the center division. Tiger 5. Surprise. with the leader calling a reverse call, meaning a shot turn to the left or to the right. Reverse. And once inverted, calling gear up. High energy, high speed, and sound. And then Tango formation, a tribute to our F-5 Tiger. Also, the 60 years of the Battle Force. And to close the show, please put your hands together for the 2024 Swiss Jet Display Team, the Patrouille Suisse.
Yeah, the weather's stayed off and has permitted flat and rolling shows all the way through. But tomorrow is a very different day. Expecting broken cloud, so we may well be seeing some fuller shows tomorrow. Yeah. With the weather being different for individuals, those that are coming back tomorrow, don't forget to bring your sunscreen with you. I think it's been a fantastic day, and as always, a pleasure to be your military commentator.
And we should say that for those who are coming back tomorrow, the Patrouille Suisse will be featuring in one of our special formations in tomorrow's programme. The two teams celebrating different 60th jubilees this year. The Patrouille Suisse, their 60th anniversary of their formation, the Red Arrows, their 60th display season.